Implementing AI into your restoration business is not as difficult as a lot of people want you to think it is. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can do it today with like no technical knowledge whatsoever. It'll add hundreds of thousands of dollars to your business. And the last thing that I'm going to show you is going to let you write Xactimate estimates like 20 times faster. Let's go take a look. The first thing that we're going to tackle here is adjuster communication. Now, I'm not saying in any way we should be communicating or negotiating with adjusters at all, but if you're going to do it, harm reduction, let's at least do it smart. So we're going to pick either Codex or Claude Cowork. It's just like a step above your ChatGPT or regular Claude. And what it allows us to do is connect these different, Gmail, Outlook, the way that we communicate outward and the way that a lot of times our files are kind of like stored in this unstructured way is oftentimes found in like emails, Dropbox. We have a ton of connectors that we can implement. And so what I would do is I would set up what's called a loop. And a loop basically says every time an action occurs, that then triggers this reaction. And so every time an adjuster, any adjuster, emails over, I want to, number one, go through all of my files, all of my folders, and I wanted to look for exactly what he's talking about. Then I want to go through all of the emails and I want you to find if this adjuster has emailed us in the past and what did he approve? What did he not approve? What was his style? Was he helpful or was he combative? How do I best approach this? And then once it's done that, I want you to draft an email response basically saying what you think is best. And I want you to put it in draft folder because I want to be able to review it. Now, it may take a couple of weeks, but what you'll find is as you correct the email, and who knows, it could be very good from the start, but as you correct it, it'll start to learn. And then you'll have to check it less and less. And ultimately, you're going to have this assistant that's working 24 hours that allows you to automatically defend every invoice, every estimate, every time they try to cut you, and uses all of the data available to do so. This is a huge tool for project managers that are stuck at a desk or stuck on their phone when they could be out in the field making money to not have to deal with, especially TPA reviewers, but insurance adjusters of any kind. Just automate it out of existence. That is going to be a huge moneymaker. Number 2 is for anybody using remote estimators. Dude, these guys, they have no clue a lot of the time what a defensible estimate means. And especially if you're using one of these like software providers as remote estimators, somehow doing this worse. But what you can do is when you get an estimate back, and I found this one online that I'm showing you here, and you can just pass it through your Cowork or Claude, same connector to Gmail, and you can say, find what items don't make sense here. And in this estimate specifically, we probably are looking at $10, $50, maybe $20,000 that they're leaving off of the table based off of the historical knowledge that all of the estimates that I have are going to tell me and general common sense. That way I can fire it back and say, hey guys, like you left all this off, get it together, or, actually find somebody that can write a defensible estimate. Either way, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to audit the money that's being left off the table. And the same thing goes for comparative estimates. Anytime an adjuster sends me over some type of, 50% off deal of the estimate that I submitted, well, I want to find all the items that they took off quickly, and I want to automatically generate F9 notes citing OSHA and IICRC guidelines as to why they're wrong. Again, should we be doing this? Should we be negotiating with them? It's for another video, but at the very least, we're going to get a fighting chance and not have to put in a ton of work in order to do it. Another huge time saver for project managers, general managers, and basically anybody that has to write estimates or deal with carriers. This last one is just, it's good because we have some of these AI platforms coming out that are basically saying we write, Xactimate estimates with AI. None of that is actually true. What they do is they will take your data, some of them very quickly, and then they will output line items, but in like PDF or text format. That's not writing an Xactimate estimate, but you can do something very similar because what they do is they send it over to Latvia, right? And once they see your photos and your notes and they generate the line items, they send it over to Latvia, and then it's data input. They just, get the third world guy on Fiverr to input that into Xactimate, and then they put it back into your instance. It's why you can't be on at the same time as some of these like software AI guys. So you can do this yourself, actually. Take every single line item that's out of Xactimate. You can have Claude do this, and you put it in a file. And then every time you get an encircle report done, and you're ready to write an estimate, feed it this encircle report and say, build me this skeleton to this invoice, to this estimate, and generate only the line items you're very confident actually exist. And then once it does that, once it feeds it out, like you'll see, now you're going to run into a few obstacles, trust me. But what you'll find is a lot of times that allows you to write quicker, especially if you're a more novice estimator, to just basically put data input in and actually really steal what these AI estimating companies are doing, which is just data input from the analysis of the photos and notes from the Xactimate line items that best match. This one is going to speed up all of your Xactimate writing process and allow people that may be a little bit newer in the game to do it faster and to learn better. Guys, AI is not coming to drop fans, not coming to drop dehues, but it is coming to the carriers, and they are going to use it to take money out of your pocket. You need to learn how to use it yourself to defend the money that you are making, because let me tell you something, the guy down the street that's using AI, he's the one that's going to survive into the future. It's not the AI that takes your job, it's that guy that's using it effectively, and it's not as hard as people want you to think it is. You're really only limited to your imagination. Ask it anything, and with a little bit of tweaking, you can get it done too. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Matt at buildaxiom.ai. Looking forward to the next one.